What's up everyone, how are you? Welcome back to the channel, and I Gamer Reacts back with another video for you, and we're back to watching another like nature type of a video here. It's 5 American animals that have randomly appeared in the UK. Hopefully there's no bears or anything, but you know, I'll always be on the lookout. uh, well, saying that, UK, a lot of times it affects England, Scotland, Wales. Tends to be Ireland and Northern Ireland. We don't really get too much crazy wildlife other than like cats and dogs and stuff. Anyway, folks, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn notification bell on, and check out the NI Gamer 1985 My Gaming channel. I would appreciate it. But let's see what it has to say here. First, I'm going to lower the volume down here.
The ecosystems of North and South America are extremely diverse, and they're home to many animals that can't be found naturally anywhere else in the world.
Oh, look
Some
at
of
that.
these
Imagine
animals
being in
play
that
very important
water.
roles in their
Jesus.
ecosystems, and some of them are just hanging on. Even though the majority of these animals are perfectly suited to life in the Americas, some of them pop up in other parts of the world. Of course, there are many American creatures that are invasive in other parts of the world, but that's not the focus of this video. Instead, I will be focusing on individual or small groups of American animals.
I hear a lot of invasive species have actually invaded down there, Florida, in terms of like snakes and other things like that. There, so I know Florida gets it quite bad that way, but that's actually a really good map. It shows you all the sort of vegetation and the sort of warmer areas. That's unreal. Let's keep going
That
though.
have
I don't want
popped
to keep
up in
pausing
the
it.
UK, and this strange occurrence is more common than you might think. Some North and South American animals find their way to the UK through the pet trade, and some of them escape from zoos. Some American animals can be blown off course during their migrations,
Yep.
and when this happens, it usually creates a bit of a stir. Without further ado, we can take a look at our first story, and this
Beautiful
story
landscape.
is very fresh. Last week, in a lake in Cumbria in northern England, a strange reptile was discovered. It was first spotted
Don't
by
say
a dog
crocodile.
walker in the shallows of a lake, and it was later fished out of the water in a
Oh,
shopping basket. Once it was on land, it
snapping
was
turtle.
easy to see that this creature was a turtle, and a freshwater turtle is a very rare sight in the UK. There are no naturally occurring turtle species in the UK, but there are a few small populations of invasive turtles from the Americas and Europe.
Right.
Strangely, the reptile pulled from a Cumbrian lake wasn't a terrapin or a slider, as it was in fact an alligator snapping
I
turtle.
thought that.
The alligator snapping turtle is the largest freshwater species of turtle in North America, and there are two other closely related species. These turtles are powerful ambush predators, and they're known for their incredibly strong bite.
Yeah, it's
Because
crazy.
this turtle is potentially dangerous, the British tabloids had a field day, and a massive fuss was made of this discovery. The
Just don't go
turtle
near.
nicknamed Fluffy was taken to a vet, and it is now being sent to a reptile centre. Of course, it's impossible for this turtle to swim all
Yeah.
the way to the UK, and it most likely entered the UK through the pet trade. It's possible that someone bought this turtle not knowing how large they can get, and then when it outgrew its enclosure, they released it into the wild. Thankfully, this alligator snapping turtle was still relatively small, and I hope it has a very long and luxurious life in captivity.
Yeah.
For our next story, we will be heading over to Wales, and we
Wales,
will be heading
yeah.
back in time to February 2020. Caroline Brown.
I'm hoping to have Scotland in here as well. And by the way, this was recommended by Scottish Man Cave. Thank you, man. Make sure you go and check his channel out. Appreciate it.
Was walking her dog along the canal in Risca, South Wales, when she came across a strange carcass at the side of the path. This carcass seemed to be reptile and fish-like, and this strange creature was at least 3 feet long. After pictures were taken of the animal, it was quickly identified, and the mystery creature was in fact an alligator gar. As I'm
Never.
sure many of you know, these creatures are native to North America,
Whoa,
and they
what
are one
the
of the
hell?
largest freshwater fish in the world. These
What?
creatures can be traced back to the early Cretaceous, and they can grow up to 3 meters in length. These predatory fish are very rarely
Is it really safe to be in the water with that thing? Jesus, look at even the teeth on it. That is mental.
dangerous to humans,
Oh, they
and they
aren't.
primarily feed on fish.
Oh,
It's quite obvious how this fish made it to the UK, as the UK's laws on fish keeping are very lax. In the UK, you can keep many fish that are illegal in other parts of the world, and because it's a very niche topic, it's not policed very heavily. One of the main reasons why you are able to keep many exotic fish in the UK is simply because the weather is very mild. The
Yeah,
vast majority of exotic fish are unable to survive in British waters,
exactly.
but
So,
some American fish would be able to. That's why you are unable to keep most American fish in the UK, but
right.
sometimes species such as the alligator gar slip through the cracks. It seems as though someone managed to get their hands on an alligator gar and then was unable to care for it when it got too big. The waters in Risca must have been too cold for this fish, and unfortunately,
You need to do a lot of research into what animals you want to keep. Like, what's the point in getting an animal and not knowing, how big they get? If I was getting, say, a snake, I would want to know what the species is. Obviously, is it dangerous or not, and then how big it grows, so you can constantly and be aware of what you need in order to look after it, like how big its enclosure is going to be, like does it need a small one, a bigger one, and then if it does get too big, like I would also research on where maybe you could uh you know let other people look after it, if that makes sense. But I would do more research than that to make sure that it's something I wanted, and I could look after. Some people are just stupid.
it led to its
That's
demise.
crazy looking.
Instances such as this aren't as rare as you
Piranhas?
might
No
think,
way.
and if you do plan on buying a monster fish, make sure that you have the space for it.
Exactly.
For our next story, we will be
Really
heading
cool
over
fish,
to
that one.
London, and we will be heading back in time to March 2023. One ordinary night in a small London suburb, a strange visitor appeared at a bus stop.
I'm gonna say a raccoon. So,
This creature was small,
oh,
striped, and
skunk actually.
fearless, and it quickly scurried away out of sight.
What?
As I'm sure many of you can tell, this creature was a skunk, and it seemed very out of place in the
What
streets
the
of
hell?
London.
Imagine
It's
you were sitting
believed
there
that
and it
this
spread you.
individual was an escaped pet, and strangely, it's not illegal to keep them in the UK.
What?
Skunks could easily become an invasive species in the UK, and there are very few predators that would hunt them. If someone decided to release a bunch of skunks into the British wilderness, there's a very high chance that they could become established. The climate in the UK isn't too different to some parts of northern North America, and
Yeah.
this is where some skunk species are found. This means that they could adapt to the British ecosystem, and they would have arguably less competition.
Oh,
Hopefully, there
100%
will be
way less.
stricter laws in place in the future, because if skunks became established in the UK, it would be bad news for the native wildlife. For our next story, we will be heading over to Pembrokeshire, and we will be heading back in time to September 2023. This was when birdwatchers across the UK lost their minds, as many American birds found their way to the
A
UK.
bald eagle. I'm gonna go
Hurricane
with.
Lee had blown many birds off course, and they flew over the Atlantic to the UK. More than 12 American species were spotted in Pembrokeshire, with many birdwatchers gathering on Ramsey Island.
Right.
Many small songbirds were spotted, including the Canada warbler that hadn't been spotted in the UK before. Some species, such as the bay-breasted warbler, had only been seen in the UK once before, and these birds really were a rare sight. These birds are now part of a long list of American birds that have made their way to the UK, and I'm sure there'll be many more in the future. For our final story, we
crazy.
will be heading over to Buckinghamshire, and we will be heading back in time to
No Scotland then?
2015. This was when a strange creature was spotted in a garden in Marlow, and at first the owner of the garden thought it was a pet. After getting a closer look, she realised that it was a creature that was a lot more exotic, and she managed to
It
capture
looks like a bloody dog in the tree, but obviously it's
the
not.
animal on video. She then went to the RSPCA for help, and they said
Thought it
that
was
they
a red
believed the
panda, or
animal
not?
was
Was
a
it a red
pet
panda? You
bear.
call it?
It's quite worrying that the RSPCA came to this conclusion, as the animal was in fact a coati. These animals are native to Central and South America,
Never heard of
and they are members of the raccoon family.
Oh,
These
right.
animals are very out of place in the UK, but strangely this isn't the first time that a coati has been spotted here. In 2004,
What?
a few individuals were spotted in Cumbria, and there's been a few other sightings dotted
Are they
around
dangerous
England.
though? That's the
The
thing.
coati in this story was eventually captured by its owners, but the coatis in Cumbria are still roaming free.
Right.
It really is surprising that they can survive in such a cooler climate, but it's very unlikely that they will become established. In the wild, they mostly feed on fruits, invertebrates, small animals and birds' eggs, and just like their close relatives the raccoons, they are very adaptable. Even though these animals have shown that it is possible that they can survive in the UK, it must be very hard, and maybe there will be more sightings to come. If there's any other stories that you
It's
think
mad
should
that.
have made it into this video, then let me know down in the comments below. But until next time, goodbye.
Yeah, a great video again. I can't remember the man's YouTube channel. I'll put it in the description, but he's big, obviously he's huge. He does. I did a video on this of the dangerous states, or with the most dangerous animals in America. So it was another great video, and this was great as well because animals that have just randomly appeared, you know, especially in the UK, because over here I've never ever felt in danger ever by an animal. Like, and I'm sure around the world, like that might sound crazy. If you live in Asia, you have tigers, you have maybe, like, if you get too close to an elephant. America, you have bears, all different types, brown, black, polar bears. If you're in Alaska, crocodiles, all sorts. Even the fish, like even in water, I've never really felt in danger either. Barely in the water though, to be fair. But yeah, and this was great to see because you had I didn't realize about the snapping turtle, and then the thing there that was like a raccoon at the end. I'm sure there's more videos on this, and like I would love to see maybe if there's videos on the most dangerous animals the UK has, but I'm sure it's not even that bad. But folks, I really enjoyed reacting to this one. Thanks again to Scottish Man Cave. I appreciate the suggestion. And if you have any suggestions yourselves about any type of video, let me know in the comment section. I will try to get round to them. There's times I do my own videos just to sort of get stuff done, you know. But I will get to it eventually. Appreciate everyone watching, the support. I know because I haven't been doing too many videos recently. I've just been difficult with having so much going on, you know, outside of YouTube and then on my gaming channel and stuff. So again, thanks folks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn notification bell on. Check out my two other channels, the NI Gamer 1985 on YouTube and Twitch, and also check out Adam Darts ANI 1985 on YouTube, where I throw darts. Folks, thanks again, and I'll see you all on the next video. Have a good one. Bye.